very impromptu one again because I've just done a reading, so I'm up here, I'm set up. If somebody joins me, that's great. If you don't, then well, it'll be a short live, won't it? So I'm on here just to say thank you for all of the support as usual. I've had a busy couple of weeks preparing and setting up for the shows at Newcastle and at Stafford. And then I've now got a break for a little bit with the shows, and I've got a couple of appearances, darling. I'm at a tea room in Lincoln tomorrow night, which I'm really chuffed about because it's sold out. And then I've got a couple of other places that I'm going to and doing my brand of whatever it is that I do. You know, I just like to raise a smile and get people working with their energy. Hi, Alison. Hi, Rachel. Hope you're both well. Yeah, so I've just come on here and quick plug as well for Gainsborough on the 12th at the Old Nick Theatre. That's tickets still available for that one at £15 a piece, where you'll get the benefit of my company and my wisdom for a couple of hours. So that should be an interesting night. In fact, I'm getting quite excited about that because I'm really looking forward to it. It really is a big step up for me, you know, to do a theatre and things like that. But it's not all sunshine and roses. I'll be perfectly honest. I absolutely love doing the work that I do, and I love doing the readings and things like that. But it's not always the easiest to keep yourself motivated when you've not got busy. So as the therapist in me always does, I'm always looking for ways to improve the way that I manage my mindset as well. So it's one of those, sometimes, you know, when you give out all of these readings and all of these messages and the bits of inspiration and things like that, that you sometimes have to swallow a bit of your own medicine. You know, it's not always the easiest, but sometimes like spirit finds you out. So it's just one of those things that I've had to sort of factor in. Right, evening, Stuart there. Hi, Cheryl. I will get to you in a moment. I read your name. See, it doesn't even give you 5 minutes to get in here. Just let me bear with me on this one while I block this idiot already. Oh, dear, honestly. Yeah, you know, this is my only frustration. I've said this so many times before with people that this is my only frustration is when we're doing this. I do this so much more often if I didn't get these people on here ruining your thing. Because I only want people that are actually interested in working with spiritual energy on these lives. I'm not out for making money or anything like that. I'm on about doing a few cards, and hopefully, you know, sometimes if you've had a rough day, it's just nice to have a card pull or things like that. And then you get people on there that just want to cause havoc. Yeah, just let me just hi Lizette. Stuart, just answer that question there. Did I have a good show? Not the busiest, mate, either of them, to be fair. But you know me, I'm an honest guy. I like to be busy because it's now my full-time job. But the financially, not made really anything off it. But emotionally, and the richness of working with the quality of some of the work that they've done, the sort of therapy side of things, it's just been absolutely incredible. And some of the comments and the compliments that I've received over these last couple of weeks, you know, just when you sort of sometimes start questioning things and just have a little bit of a dip there, it soon reinvigorates you because I'm so well looked after there. So I was really chuffed with that. Right, let me get on with it, doing some of these, and let's see how we go. So I'm just having a look here at me settings. Right, so Cheryl, let me see where we're at with you. Hopefully, guys, the signal stays in and everything's on as it should be. So anything for you. Right, so I'm doing cards again tonight. So as I explained last week when I did the real impromptu one, I'm not really tuning in spiritually. If something comes in spiritual wise or mediumship wise, I'll pass it on. I'm actually working on the psychic vibration with the cards for you. So Cheryl, the card that I've drawn for you is brilliant because it's the start of the journey on the tarot deck. 0 is before the very beginning. So before we even put a foot on the path. So even if you're feeling a little bit flat yourself at this moment in time, don't get too despondent, because this is talking about starting a new pathway, starting a new journey. And what I feel, what I'm drawn to say around this card is, don't be in a fixed state of mind, because this card talks about being open to the element of surprise. Experiences coming in sort of like a bolt from the blue. And when I see this card, I get quite excited by it, because I think, well, if I can't plan for something and I've got an open mind, I'll just be ready to take that leap when it comes in. I think this is sort of looking at you confidence wise and getting ready to take that leap of faith when it comes in. I'm saying that I'm not going to do any work with spirit, but I've got a gentleman's energy that joins me as I work with you. And what I'm being told to tell you is, at this moment in time, you think you're further back than you actually are, but trust in the spirit and trust in this gentleman's energy. I feel like a fatherly figure or a grandfatherly figure with this gentleman, and he's saying, trust me, we've got it in hand. So as I say, with this card here, it's all about the element of surprise. It's all about putting your foot on the path and being ready to go at a moment's notice, because sometimes when this energy comes in, it can be quite chaotic as well. But I love seeing this card when it comes out, because it says to me that even if we're not planning anything, that there's something in the offing, that so that basically be ready to go when it comes in there. I'm looking for something else, because my words are getting a little bit jumbled up there, and I'm just trying to pick out what it is that I'm actually wanting to say there. There's something else with this card as well. No, okay, there's nothing else coming through from there. So just be ready, Cheryl, when it's that time. Be ready to ride, because the full card is anything but. So when you get your resources together, progress is possible, but sometimes we just need to look at the rut, or maybe the way of thinking that we've got ourselves stuck in. So leaving you with open-minded, flexible, ready over these next 2 weeks to make jumps onto a new pathway. Okay, right. So let me have a see where we're going here. All right, so let's keep. I want to get through as many as I can on these, because it's never sure timing wise. I've just come up here. Mrs. P and my daughter are out on an exercise class. So I thought, come up here, a little bit of tidying up again, because I've had a reading this afternoon, and get things put away, because it's my birthday tomorrow, guys. I'm 51 tomorrow, so I'm not making any plans for tomorrow until tomorrow night, where I'm going to a tea room to do a demonstration. So the time up until 6 o'clock tomorrow night's all mine. And I'm really going to enjoy myself. I shall be out with my dogs somewhere. I'm going out with my middle daughter, and we're going to go to the dog paddocks that are near us and take the dogs for a walk and let them off the lead. So, I am really looking forward to it. Right, so Lizette, for you. Right, 8 of Cups. So the 8 of Cups is all about moving on emotionally. It's about moving forward, having that trust in yourself, that you can live without some of the stresses and strains that you've been going through. So I put that card up there because these are actually beautiful cards, but we look at these cards symbolically being in disarray. You put everything into place that you can do strategically to deal with this emotional upheaval. You've tried different strategies. You've tried different ways of talking, different ways of communicating. But now what this is saying is it's time to move on and move comfortably, move on without guilt. So make sure that you've got all of your loose ends tied off. Don't carry any guilt around with you, any upset around with you. Leave it by the roadside for it to be recycled. Take yourself forward. The colour with this card is orange, if you can't quite see that. The orange is all about the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra, for me, is where we start to program when we want to bring in those new things and those new experiences. It's also about where we get rid of the waste as well. So I feel like over the last 6 months, there's quite a lot of emotional blockage and baggage around that area. That now needs to be cleared and got rid of, because we're looking at reprogramming things now. And again, much like the previous card there, once we've got through that initial shock of things not quite going the way that we wanted them recently, Now we're going to get ready and we're going to plot a pathway forward, because the very next colouring that comes in the chakra system there is the solar plexus chakra. And I like to think of the solar plexus chakra as that life's blood energy, you know, where you put the fuel into your life and your dreams there. So be prepared. Whereas I said, the last one's not something that you can really prepare for. This one's different, because it's saying time to do the work where we move on emotionally, we take a bold step forward, and we leave these things to go wherever they need to. You see, I'm not mindful. I'm holding back on my words there, because I'm mindful of saying leave the past behind you. But I don't do that. As a therapist, what I look at doing is, if I've got an issue or something that needs getting over or getting past or strategizing, if you like, then I like to put it in the palm of my hand and give it some sort of form. And I like to talk to it and deal with it and work my way through it emotionally, even if it takes some time. But I don't put it behind me, because if I've not dealt with it effectively and it triggers me a little bit further on down the line, then I've got to go through the process again. So I don't put it into the future, because that means I'm procrastinating, and I will meet it again somewhere down the line, and it'll probably be just as painful an experience. But if I've got it here and now, I solve it, and then I accept sometimes that some of the more difficult things, they are sent to trials, but also with it, right, time to move on and let that go. So any emotional upheaval that's been going on around you, bring it to a close. You know, I would trump that card with the death card there, and the death card is that finishing aspect of things, that finality of saying, right, if we've got the full stop moment in life, now we can start again with things. So good times ahead, I feel, for you. Just a little bit of organizing to do. Right, let me have a look where we're going. We'll keep going. I'll try and keep up as quick as I can, guys, and keep these short readings. I do like to waffle on and do like to go off on a tangent, but I like to try and get around as many. I like to get round as many as I can. So I'll do a quick shuffle of the cards there and see what comes out for you. All right, interesting. Right, where was that one? Just bear with me 1 second, because that's not changed like it should do. Right, Rachel. So the card for you is the Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords, if you look at that picture itself, and the reason it's sort of see-through there is because we're sat in front of the green screen. This is about blue. This is about communication in the throat chakra. The swords are all about the thoughts and how you process information. I always see it as hurdles and problems and obstacles to overcome. So there's an aspect of somebody around you that's not being entirely honest with you. Somebody there that's a little bit slack, because if you look at this, where they're running out of the way there with all of their ill-gotten gains. So where I look at this is often known in the tarot deck as a card of theft. Right now, it ranges, because it can be literal theft, where somebody's took your possessions or took something away from you that you own. But for me, where I tend to find this comes out is emotionally. So if you've got somebody there that has a tendency to tell you a load of crap, or lie to you or manipulate you or something like that, what they're actually robbing you of is your time and your thoughts. So I never advocate, whenever I'm doing any readings or work whatsoever, to go and have an argument and a fight with anybody whatsoever. But what I always say is, when people start to treat you like crap or take you for a bit of a mug, right, when you recognize something, right, and you see things that are coming in there that your inner being's going, not sure about this, then that's the time to cut the cord energetically with people. Right, I've seen that, and that's as far as it goes. Now, if you want to be involved in my life, there are a certain set of standards and a certain set of rules. So I also, whenever I give swords as well, is I think a sword as a literal weapon, that it helps cut through any illusion and crap that's going on around you. So maybe you've got a few conversations that you've got to have. You've had some suspicions about something. Well, what this card is saying to me is, whatever your suspicions are, they are correct. So clear communication, getting your ground rules in place, and calling people out when they're giving you a load of BS. So it's hard work, because if you're anything like me, you don't like to have conversations like this, but sometimes we have to. And by the way, I don't feel that this is around a relationship, Rachel. I don't know whether this is a social situation or something to do with work or something of that nature, because they've just put wands in my mind. Swords are about thoughts, wands are about practical things in life. So I'm going around the job, the sort of scenario where you're not in love with something. It's a very practical thing. But start to notice when these suspicions are coming in and around you, and what your gut is actually telling you. This is a time to follow your intuition and not get lost in emotion. So I hope that makes a bit of sense for you, Rachel. It's because you're good at what you do. Bless you, Stuart. I really appreciate that. And right back at you, my friend, because I count myself very, very lucky that I've had you in my corner for a long time, and I genuinely appreciate that. Right, so Laura Hughes, let's see where we're going with this one. Having a shuffle of these cards. I've got 3 decks of cards in front of me, but for some reason I'm really, really drawn to working with my tarot deck. Hi, Shelley. Hope you're well. Nice to see you on. Thanks very much. Hope everything's good for you. Right, so for you, Laura. Right, so when people come to me and say about learning about tarot, right, I've done tons of courses and I've done tons of hours sat with cards. I'm a bit of a cheat, really, when it comes to cards. So I learned the basics very early on. But if you get this into your head as well, that cards are they have a rich history going back. So Rider-Waite and things like that, and as well as other name cards that go back right into the annals of history. I've got specific meanings, and then you'll get other cards that are written by other people that put these cards out into circulation. And what you'll find with them is they'll have part of the story like that Rider-Waite put out, and then other parts that they're brought in. But the energy that's put into cards is a reflection of the person that's actually reading for them. So when you get these court cards, a lot of people sort of trip over on them. So a good tip from that worked with me, that helped me right at the beginning, was to split cards down. So I always go with colour, because that is my medium. I love giving out things to do with colour. I love giving guidance out in relations to colour. The top of that there is red, and the red is about the root chakra. And the root chakra is your foundations. So everything that you build on it afterwards needs that solid foundation. So it supports everything. It underpins all of the stuff that you're going to do this year. So I know that we're into May tomorrow. I'm saying May tomorrow. I've just got it in my head because it's my birthday tomorrow. But May the 3rd tomorrow. So we're heading towards part way through the year now, halfway through, very, very nearly. So there's things for you that need sorting out. So what am I going to do? So in a practical sense, I've got a bit of a rebuild. I've got something there that needs something looking at. I need to do something slightly different, replan, rethinking, something like that. And then I've got the king figure. King or queen represents authority figures for me. Wands represent the practical sides of life. So what I'm looking at doing and delivering the message with this card is, in a practical sense, so if we look at jobs, we look at house moves, we look at anything that affects the day-to-day, everyday running of your life, needs gaffering. And what I mean by gaffering is taking charge, being the boss, sorting out, getting things into place where you set your rules, you put your foundations down. So with you, I'm just getting a lovely lady in the spirit world for you there, Laura, that is talking to me and telling me to tell you to stop dilly-dallying, right? I haven't heard that song that sign for a long time. Stop dilly-dallying. I've got all sorts of music popping through my head, so you might find that some of my words get a little bit tripped up because I'm listening to music in my head there. And also, I'm going off on a track here. I need to get myself back here because talking about that song, I dillied and dallied, lost, and it's an old song that I remember doing at school. So there's all sorts going in there. Basically, what we're saying there is, don't dilly-dally, don't hold off. the time is right. The time is now to put those things into place to on a practical side of your life to move forward. They're telling me as well to get you an angel card. Well, because I've got angel cards next to me, Laura, I'm going to, yeah, right. So that'll be why they've told me that. So the card that you've got there is Change Your Life, which is all about sorting out the practical side of things. A sudden I'll get it right in a minute. Got somebody else's teeth in now. A sudden revelation that offers freedom. Break free of procrastination. Embrace the opportunities that change brings. Now, how brilliant is that? Because that is essentially what I've just said, but it's on a card there. Getting yourself sorted, no procrastination, all bets are off. Get yourself moving on, Laura, and enjoy the speed that this all unfolds. Thank you very much. Hey, hope you had a great weekend. Truthfully, love being at the shows. You know that. You've spoke to me often enough. I genuinely have a passion for what I'm doing. But now as a businessman as well, that side of me needs to be improved and increased. And these last couple of 3 shows have not been particularly financially successful. But like I said at the beginning, it's not all about money. Sometimes it has to be because we've all got to pay the bills. But the work that has been coming in recently and the change in the vibration and the energies and the frequencies and the difference, what challenges that people are bringing to me when I work with their energy has just been incredible. And I feel really, really privileged. But like I put on a post on Facebook a few days ago, I celebrated 6 months in business on my own. I've got through to this point at 6 months, and it's like anything at the moment that's got to do with finances, job and working and things like that, that it's a difficult time to be around. So as long as I can keep affording to do it and keep getting the shows and keep getting people booked in and all of that sort of thing, I'll keep doing it. And if there's anything different to look at further down the line, I'll look at it, because what my NLP training taught me is not to get into what if land. So I deal with everything on a day-to-day basis, and I work through what I've got to do, good, bad, or indifferent. I am very affected by moods when I get up sometimes. So if it's one of those days, and this is an advocate for anybody out there that struggles with moods or anxiety or depression or anything like that, some days we just have to flow with our heads going, to just get through that day the best we can until we've got the fresh day when we get up the following morning. So sometimes we just have to float with it. But on the whole, I love this job, but I can't even see it as a job. I just absolutely love and I'm passionate what I'm doing. So thank you for asking the question. Yeah, weekends are always good when I've got the excuse to don the waistcoat and get out there and get up on platform as well, because I had 2 good platform demonstrations over the last couple of weeks that were really well received as well. So I'm really, really proud of that. Hi, Jeff. Hope you're well. Hi, Tara. As we just come up there. Good evening. You're new here. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Let me keep going. Yeah, right, Sam. Let me have a go there. Right, so we'll have a shuffle of the cards there. All right, they're telling me already, Sam, with you that I've got to turn over angel cards. So I'm going to turn you over a couple of the angel cards there. Yes, interesting. So the image I've got in my mind at the moment for you, Sam, is that I don't know whether you're old enough to remember, because I've seen a profile picture there with a dog on, so I can't see you yourself. I don't know what age you are, but when I see images in my mind's eye, I just give them out. I just give what I've got. So what I'm seeing here is that I've hit the pause button on my cassette deck, and if for those of you younger viewers, right, a cassette deck is one of them things that we used to stick in, and you'll never know the difficulties that if you got your tape all tangled up and you couldn't hear your music and you gently pulled it out of the machine so it didn't get all snaffled up. Oh, fun times. Anyway, digressing slightly. I'm seeing with that you're stuck on on a pause button at this moment in time, waiting for direction and guidance. And I do feel that there's an emotional blockage around you at this moment in time, because as I started to breathe then and sort of bring my rational mind into it, And I felt like I've been hit by a real sort of heart moment there where I don't know whether I'm lacking a bit of clarity or whether I've got a little bit of doubt creeping in. But there's something there where I need to hit that play button really hard and get myself moving forward again. Always maintain hope, right? Because as long as we get up every morning, we've got the opportunity to change what we didn't do yesterday. Now, I know you can't quite see this because the colour's now fading out on this with it being the green screen in the background. But the yellow there for me represents the solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus chakra, as I said to earlier, is all about your life's blood energy. It's the place where you get the fuel for bringing in everything that you want to bring in into the future. And it just feels like at the moment around you, Sam, that we've got the pipe squeezed a little bit. So we've got a couple of things that we need to sort out practically to release that flow of energy. You get in mind with that. And then we've got this lovely card here, which is all about transformation. Now, the thing is that I found over this last year when I've been talking to a diverse range of people is that they want to iron out and get rid of all of the difficulties that they've been through so that the present, like that I'm doing really well, I'm doing really, really okay. And they like kind of like want to rub out or scratch out the difficult times. And then I think what happens is sometimes like life throws you a curveball and then you end up like in a bit of a pit because everything that you've tried to put away and hide away from you comes back at you all at once. This is why I'm such a big fan of not putting the past behind me. I want closure on things. You start to look at this, and I don't know what's going on around you, Sam, but energetically, I'm feeling a lack of confidence in something, and I'm feeling a lack of trust now, whether it's in yourself to deliver whatever it is that you do, or whether it's in somebody else that's around you. We just need a quick sort of look at the thought processes. You can do that, and that brings in that lovely transformation, and that for me is embracing all sides of you. So if you've got something there that needs your energy at the moment that's difficulties, then we need that solving, right? We solve that, we take any lessons from it, we take any decent feelings from it, and then we get rid of it, and then we move on to the next thing. If you can get things into a pattern and sequentially and solve them in small bite-sized manageable chunks, basic counseling techniques there, then you will be able to progress forward. The key word that I'm being told to say to you, Sam, is just trust. Just trust in yourself, trust what you've been taught, and trust your intuition and the lessons that you've accumulated over these past couple of years. Okay, right. So, yeah, my lovely friend there, Shelley, you certainly can. I'm just keeping an eye on the time there. Oh, I've run behind already. So let me see where we're going. Yeah. No, Shelley, I'm really, really drawn for you to do this angel card if you're still on. Oh, yes, Shelley. Now, Shelley is a wonderful healer. She's a wonderful spirit worker and very perceptive and intuitive in what she does when she's working. So check out her pages. I don't put links on or anything like that because I truthfully don't know how to do it. But coming from me talking to you live, we don't send out sort of things to you to subscribe to or offer any free readings or anything like that. But if you're listening to me now, check out Shelley. She's the genuine real deal. So the card that I've got for you, look, is New Beginnings. And it's spiritual as well because it's that lovely, lovely purple card. So that feeling is, the word I've got in my head at the moment, Shelley, is expansion. So it's moving forward, progressing, but also diversifying as well. So there's something there that just needs... how it's being shown to me, you know, like the old plasticine where you used to stretch it and then it sort of spring back, but you could stretch it. And the more that you stretched it, eventually it would hold out in this new shape. Well, that's what the image I've got going through my mind at the minute, starting a new way of life, finding your purpose. And here's a key thing, right? And I'm trying to put the link together, what spirit are talking to about. So I've got a gentleman in spirit there. And when I read these words here, a forgiving and compassionate review of the past, I'm going to just slightly tweak that because that's not what I'm feeling. It's what it says on the card. But this is about not being so hard on yourself, about grieving in emotional sort of trying times over these last couple of years. because I've got this sense in my mind that you've been hit by 2 or 3 passings in a short space of time. And I want to be clear about this as well, guys, that the grief process for me can be as intense as you tend to make it out to be, right? And what I mean by that, it can be people passing, it can be your pets passing, or it can be something that's gone out of your life. All of it needs a place to be put, because it affects us as human beings. It affects our energy levels. So when I'm reading that bit, a forgiving and compassionate review of the past, I'm just thinking there that I just maybe need to take time out every now and again to just look where I am and where I've come from. So when I get a little bit flat or a little bit upset or a little bit angry, right, let's start looking at things. And as I said earlier, in bite-sized chunks, right, what do I need to do today to help me progress forward to tomorrow? Is there something there that's too overwhelming to deal with at this moment in time? Or if I take little bits off it, is it going to make it easier for me to process? Anybody who watches me regularly realizes as well that I don't give advice on grief purely because I haven't got a clue, right? All I see grief as is being right there in front of my face. And I'm still in that grief cycle as well. I lost somebody very dear to me 2 years ago, and it's as fresh today as it was those 2 years ago. So my way of processing it is knowing that that person, if he saw me down, he saw me flat, or, you know, sort of in the dumps with it, would kick my arse up and down this room that I'm sat in. So I treasure those moments. So I keep his energy in my peripheral vision. If I've got his energy in my peripheral vision, I know that I can work with his energy on the good days and where I feel uplifted, and I can have a laugh about some of the daft things that we've got up to, and knowing what a tough, strong man he was. Also knowing that spiritually he's always going to be around me. But on the bad days, on the dark days where the pain is like that sucker punch, then I just have to sit with that. Because for me, there's no way of strategizing it, because in my head, grief is never going to go away. A little bit further down the line, I hope, I can't prove this, I hope that the pain is less than what it is, you know, in this present moment. But I don't know that that'll happen. So I haven't got a strategy for that. So I just keep it there. And as I say, repeating myself, but on the good days, I'll deal with it. On the bad days, well, I just have to sit with that energy. So I hope that makes a bit of sense. Thanks very much, Lisa. Appreciate that. Thanks, Cheryl. Brilliant. I hope you get that. Big fingers crossed for you there. Thanks for all the happy birthday wishes. I really, really appreciate that. Got any words of wisdom for me? Right, just bear with me, guys. Let's just get to say, because I'm not sure how long I'm stopping on for. I've got 13 on, so try and get through a few more yet. Words of wisdom for you. Right, this is a lovely, lovely lady. I don't know. Words of wisdom. Okay. Right. The image I've got in my mind at the moment for you, Chris, is that we're at a place where I feel we're going to pull the plug on something. I don't quite know what that is, whether it's around somebody or something. And I've just had a gentleman's energy just coming in there for you that's just basically got hold of a set of reins on a horse and pulled you back a little bit. So it's an emotionally charged situation, because as I'm talking as well, I'm bringing up this energy into my throat there where I want to communicate, but I fear that if I do communicate, I'm just going to go off on all sides. It's going to be like an exploding volcano. So he's just asking you there, I think, to just basically pump the brakes, you know, grab hold of the reins and get that horse under control and get it back as well. Also bringing in dogs around you as well. I'm not quite sure what that is. I'm not going to describe anything literally because I'm not seeing that. But I always, when dogs come in, I always think of what dogs are to you. They love you unconditionally, and they're also very, very loyal. So I don't know what's going on around you personally, but whether you're questioning somebody's loyalty or something like that. But I'd really feel like there's an emotional situation going on. So some way or another, we need to just pump the brakes, let the emotions just settle before we pull that lever on something. Right, let me just see what the card says, because that was just my feeling. And as you know with me, when I'm working, it's all about what comes into my head while I'm working. So, yeah, you've got the Four of Swords there. So the Four of Swords is all about convalescence and resting. So as I said earlier on, swords represent matters of the mind and the intellect, and blue is about communication. So over these last 5 years, I feel like you've had 3 major battles with things, maybe even more. But the one that's around you at this moment in time, we just need a little bit of distance. We just need a little bit of settling. We need to take a step back and have some rest before we make those actions. Don't let the heart overrule the logical mind there as well. So this is talking about getting some rest. I know it's easier said than done sometimes with when you go to bed. Don't mull things over so much. Don't get into that state of agitation when you lay there, because I am picking up anxiety around you at this moment. I don't know whether it's for you or in regards to you, but you know, you're not daft. So this, what I'm being told here is objectivity is the word that's being used around there. So take that step back, think and look before you leap. So I hope that makes a bit of sense for you. Tara, let's have a look for you. Thanks a lot, Paul. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's my birthday tomorrow. I'm 51 years young, making some really strange noises these days when you're creaking and getting up and down. It's a real strange one. Oh, I don't know. But I can't complain about my life. I look at it, right, I'm a slave to moods and things like that. And if I get up in the wrong one, I have to deal with that. But do you know what snaps me out of it? I look round, I've got a wife, I've got a family, I've got my dogs, I've got a roof over my head, and I've got food in my belly. And then when you've got that, everything else is a bonus. Everything else can be looked at. And I get a lot of people when I'm doing therapy with them that will say to me that they struggle with this and they struggle with that, and they get upset and they get agitated. And then when you ask them to start listing what they're grateful for, they soon find a list. So nobody can make you feel anything. That's the interesting thing. Nobody can actually make you feel anything. But it's the way that you react to the stimulus that's going on in and around you. And the thing is, when you got into arguments and discord with people and upset, if you withdraw your energy from it, i.e. cut the cords, then the arguments and the disagreements fizzle out, because it takes 2 people to have an argument and a fight. So I said, and I've said this repeatedly over this last year, 6 months to a year, that my need for participating in arguments with anybody is just zero. So if you come up against somebody that says you're this, thinks you're that, right, okay, fair enough. Your need for victory is obviously greater than my need to get involved arguing and stand in my corner. So I just let them have the victory and just walk away, because it keeps my head clear for better things. You look about where you divide your energy up every day. What do you want? Do you want something proactive and some good feeling coming out of it? Or do you want to go to bed with a memory of somebody that you want to choke? It's just a thought process. So look, I've just shuffled those cards, Tara. And the card that's just dropped out again is the previous card that I've just given for Chris there. And it's about convalescence and resting. Now with you, whereas I felt with Chris, it was something to do with the situation that was going on around her in an emotional sense. Round you, do you know, if I could say to you, and I feel like I'm on the same sort of wavelength here, that I want a break from myself at times. When you've got this here, you get your head full of thoughts, and the head's always busy. It always wants instant action. It wants instant feedback, and it's just rolling on and rolling on. Do you know, I just feel like that for you to process your future, because I just feel a little bit like, not pause, but like stuck. I'm overwhelmed with choices. I'm overwhelmed with advice. I'm overwhelmed with guidance from people. And it's almost like being in a room where you go to people, right, can you help me? And then everybody chimes in with something. And you're like, whoa. Can I just... So I've got a lot of sorting out to do around you. And where I say that you want the break and the convalescence, it's from your thought processes. So this is about going into meditation, going into a timeout, however you detail it. You see, when I do it, I'm crap at meditation because it can't keep me gob shut long enough. but I'll get 15 minutes where I'll have a break with it, and I'll go and sit in there, and I'll leave my thoughts at the door as much as I can. And then when I'm connecting in with spirit, the one thing that I've got 100% clarity with is that I trust spirit implicitly. If I trust spirit implicitly, then I know that they're going to bring me something in that's worthwhile. Often it's just to take that time out and tune in with my intuition, check in with your inner being, find out where pain's showing as well, because sometimes when you've got emotional pain, it can manifest as a physical ailment as well. So start to look at why you feel like you're carrying quite a burden at the moment, why you're feeling unsupported. What is it that you're doing at the moment that your heart's not in? And sometimes, as I say, we just need to take a rest from those thought processes so that we can plot and plan. And this is all about looking after your root chakra. And as I said to you earlier, the root chakra is all about foundations. It's all about building for the future and putting down solid bases. So tuning out some of the, I don't know what, right, that was just described. Tuning out some of the dross around you and looking at that some people who project their fears and insecurities onto other people are in precisely that. They don't want other people to do better than what they're doing. So they'll throw out their little bombs, they'll throw out their little insecurities. And it just depends on who picks up on them and who has, you know, who gets invited to the banquet. I'm very, very mindful of people that haven't done something offering me advice on what I'm doing. You know, I like people who lead by example, who put themselves out there, and you go, oh yeah, they've got a point there because they've done that, they've been through that, they've experienced it. So I'll take little bits of that, but essentially I can't lead their life and they can't lead mine. Because we're not the same beings, we're not the same energy, we've not had the same upbringing, we've not had the same experiences. So I just think that for you, Tara, taking time out, gathering yourself, and then carry on regardless. Right. You don't look a day over 21. Well, you're now one of my best friends. I call bullshit on it, but you're now one of my best friends. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, life's all about having a smile, isn't it? A day over 21. Bloody hell, I looked 21 when I was about 12. You know, this started going quite early on. You know, but the snow on the roof, the fire still burns brightly down there. So, oh, that's one's flying out at me. Alison, for you, the card I've got for you is justice. Fair, logical-minded steps to get the results that you want. So around you, this is again linking in with the thought processes. It's linking in with things rather than emotions. This is saying, again, pretty much like I said in that last card there, where I want a balanced, logical-minded approach to something that I've maybe been going round and round in circles over a little bit. So it's one of those that sometimes the hardest step that we ever make in life is the first one. You know, have a look what is truthfully holding you back moving forward practically. You know, can you actually do anything about the situation that you've got going on around you? Or can you agree that there's not a lot that you can do with it? So you can release that energy and move forward using your strategies, however that you cope with life on a day-to-day basis. When I look at the picture on this card, I've got a lady there that's blindfolded. So there's always answers in cards for me. I look at the whole picture of a card. So when I'm looking at that card, I think, right, so where she's sort of locked up in here, in her mind, if she takes this blindfold off and she uses the logic that she's gained over the years, the experience to deal with their everyday occurrences, she can see a lot wider than when she's got this sort of blinkered or she's got this obstructed view. So where we've been saying, I think the theme of this one is about rest and recuperation with things. And maybe saying the same for you as well, Alison, that just we need that logical, balanced-minded approach and not to overreact emotionally. So sometimes it's just have to flick that switch where, right, I've got to switch off where my heart is telling me. And this is like overriding the emotional heart center. Because if you're an empathic person, you want to support, you want to love everybody. The truth is, we can't. There are some arseholes out there in this world, and there are some people out there, no matter how much help and how much guidance and how much support and love, they're still going to have to go their own way. So I'm always mindful of how much energy I put into somebody, and that if they keep coming back to you with things that you know intuitively aren't going to lead down any decent paths, maybe it's just time to save your energy for other things rather than just getting pulled into all other people's dramas. So that card there, rational, logical minded approach over these next couple of months. Whatever you've got to do to rebuild or re-strategize on, keep doing it, keep analyzing it, and then make those bolder steps forward in the next couple of months. So I hope that makes a bit of sense for you. And thanks very much for the happy birthday wishes. Thank you, Alison. Right, Teresa, let me have a look where we're going, because I say, guys, I'm getting behind like I do, but I get through as many as I can. But I have a problem with Facebook and all, because I can't seem to keep up with the comments. So I do the best that I can, guys. If you want a more detailed reading, obviously it's going across the bottom of the screen there, because it is my little business. It is what I do for a living. I no longer work anywhere else. It's what I do. It's baby steps. I'll tell you, I'm being perfectly honest. It's frightening as well. But while I've got these on the end of my wrist, and this is what I say to lots of people when they're going through changes and turmoil, while I've got these, I can make the changes that I need to make. So should I need a rethink or a plan, I will deal with that as and when it presents itself. I am not going to have my life run by fear. You know, I do have my off days like anybody else, because I'm a human being living this existence that we have to live in. So, you know, I enjoy my life on the whole. And I say, like I said at the beginning, there's lots to be thankful for. Yes, I get that there's lots of difficulties, but there's lots to be thankful for as well. Teresa, Ace of Cups. So when I pull that card, I always feel with that it's it can be quite a broad card, because there's three ways of splitting it, because it's talking about the new, because it's an ace. Cups are about emotions. So new relationships, building on relationships, and basically bringing people and experiences together that fill your spiritual cup. I always feel with this, I very rarely when I've read this card have I gone to somebody, right, you've got a new relationship heading down your path, because I'm not a Mills and Boon writer, and I'm not a very romantic person anyway. So I always tend to go down the thought route there, the therapy route is, and maybe just maybe you need a new relationship with your own emotions. Maybe you just need a bit of a boost and a bit of a pick me up with the way that you're treating yourself at the moment. As you know, has there been a few negative thoughts started to creep in? Has there been a little bit of confidence or something that's been said that's undermined you, or just giving you that little bit of a, you know, it just puts that feeling into you. So when I see this card here, the way I've been describing this just recently, and you just have to bear with my very, very strange imagination. I said, in the last couple of readings where this card has come up, say to people, right, so if I offered you a cup, and in that cup was your favorite drink, whether it's alcoholic, whether, like in my case, it's a brew, or in the other one you've got, and I said to him, pureed Brussels sprouts. Now I can't stand Brussels sprouts at the best of times, but the thought of drinking cold pureed Brussels sprouts out of a cup there sent me into an involuntary spasm of, right, not very nice at all. So if you put the two cups in front of somebody and said, which one would you like to drink out of, then I would think that 99.9% of people would drink out of their favorite cup. So the point, whatever percent that's left, you would have to ask yourself why they're voluntarily doing something that doesn't give them that emotional fulfillment. So when I see this card, new starts and new beginnings, so maybe it's just in the way that you process your emotions. And I've got the Madness song in my head going around there, tomorrow's just another day. So whatever it is that you're building up to and building up to and building up to, if you're of a person that overthinks and overanalyzes like I do, then often we spend more time sort of preempting the strike, and it's never as bad as when we actually get there and experience the event. The funny thing is you spend all of them time, that life's hours, dealing with that emotional upheaval, when you get there, that even if it is as crap as you've imagined, you deal with it anyway, because it's your mind is like rinse and repeat. If you do something and you've got this sort of strength in character, we'll all say, I think at times, oh, I don't know how I'm going to manage this. I don't know if I've got the strength to go on with this, that, and the other. And yet 6 weeks further on down the line, we've done it. Because that's what we do. Because sometimes, like, all people look for strategies and completion and getting things done. Sometimes the answer is it just is, and you just have to get through it. You just have to, so that your life can progress to that next point. So whatever it is emotionally at this moment that's going through your head, I just feel that we need to get, again, with the logical, rational minded thinking part in there, and just be a little bit more nicer to yourself. That's not very good English, but that's how I'm putting it. Be a bit nicer to yourself and look after yourself emotionally a little bit better. Right, thank you, Rachel. God, I've got well behind here, and I tried. I tried. Right, let me just go. Thanks again. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Just a minute, I've got a Wally on here. Let me get rid of. We'll block them. Just bear with me 1 second, guys, while I just get rid of this, because the thing is, they grow. If you leave them for too long and you miss them, they grow right through the feed, and they keep going, and they'll be bugging all of you. Look, yeah, I've got to that one down there, so just bear with me. I think we've got rid of that one. Right, Jenny Kate. I'm drawn to doing an angel card for you, Jenny, so I'm just going to shuffle these cards here. Jenny Kate. Oh, there's 2 falling out. Right. So if there's 2 falling out, I always believe that they fell out for a reason. So you've got a great deal of activity heading your way, sudden and immediate results, important communication. So me standing here as the bald-headed voice of conscience with you, you've got to get your bum and your head wired together so that you can get yourself sorted. So no flight of fantasies, no, off in the clouds and la land, as I tend to call it. We need you down on the ground, getting things organized. There's 1 or 2 things I feel maybe practically that we just need to withdraw our energy from. Do we need to keep doing the same thing, looking for an answer that's not coming? So sometimes it's like putting yourself first, making the tough decisions, and actually getting past that period of procrastination, so that we can. I see it often as like doing a mental stock take, where I've got to just clear the grounds of the stuff that is no longer useful, the stuff that I'm no longer going to apply myself to. Then I don't feel so chaotic with my energies, because I am not very good at multitasking. So when I've got a certain amount of tasks to do, what I tend to do is focus on the one that really needs the most attention to, that I can deal with. And then once that's done, move on to the next bit and the next bit and the next bit. But to allow me to have new experiences, I need that closure of any of the little bits that might be left around. So this past 4 or 5 years has left you with a lot of bits, I feel, Jenny, to clear up. So this card is saying, right, once you're in that place where you can flick the go switch and you've got yourself organized, there's going to be a lot of new and exciting experiences heading your way, where you'll have to sort out as to what direction you're now going to go in. Listen to your intuition and into your heart space as well. Search for meaning, considering an alternative approach, and surrounding yourself with wise teachers or friends. The way I interpret that is that I'm so lucky that in the spiritual thing that I've been working in for the last 6 years, I get so many wonderful people that help, advise, and guide me. It's sometimes having to sort through that so that you don't get overwhelmed by things, and going to talk to people that are on your wavelength. Don't waste your time explaining to people what you're going to do and things like that if they haven't got your back. Right, that's what I'm doing. Right, cheers, I'm off. And then go speak to people that will support you, and they'll be honest with you as well, because there's a sense of needing that honesty as well. So if you got your head in the clouds and you're being unrealistic, it often takes somebody who's more objective and not so emotionally attached to situations to just go, just come here. Look, I know you, I love you, but you need talking to. So I hope that makes a bit of sense for you, Jenny. Right, let me have a look there. Right, Sophia. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Have a reading. Things aren't great for mum at the moment. Bless you. So when I read this, the idea behind all of the cards is upliftment. So for me, as a guarantee, I always send out healing to people who are struggling with things, because they're included in my daily healing prayers there as well. So let's just have a look, a quick look. So it may connect and it may not connect with you, because we're working on the psychic vibration. So maybe this card will come out as a bit of a distraction for you with what you're going through, and say, send the healing angels and the healing energies out towards you. Now there's an interesting card that's just dropped out for you, Sophia, though, and it's a fantastic card because it is the Magician. Right now, I'm one of these that's real time, real world, real life type of person, and I don't always believe in the magical elements in life. I believe in noticing the synchronicities in life. But if you were looking for time-wise where things are going to now start to get into any sort of decent order for you personally, then these are the sort of cards that you want as a sign, because the Magician, he's got all four suits there. He's got the Pentacles, which is finances. He's got his thoughts in place and in balance. The emotions, he's got a grip on the emotions, can monitor and control his emotions. And then he's got the practical life in order. So there will be a time where you will move out of the area, the environment that you're in, and go through it with, as those changes come, what I'm being told to tell you, Sophia, is not to fight it, right? I appreciate that I don't know anything that's going on in your personal life there, but I'm doing this purely on the basis of this card, which reflects the word magic. So magic's a little bit of a dodgy thing for me, words wise, but I think about practically being on a higher vibration. It's a magical time. Every time I bring this card out, I always think, right, so it's great that everything's in balance or potentially in balance, but I think, like with everything in life, that things have a capacity to change. So when you've got that opportunity to do something magical or something uplifting, or the opportunity to make those big changes, the windows of opportunities don't remain open for long. So I understand that there's a lot going on with you emotionally, but also don't discount big changes for yourself as you go forward. As I say, love and light out to you and your mum, and I hope things improve for you there. Right, let me just take this one off as well. Oh yeah, loads of them. Oh dear. Oh, I've got another one. I blocked this one. This is what frustrates me with this, right? Because this particular one that I've just blocked, I reported to Facebook. They were using my name, my image, and yet Facebook reckoned that they weren't breaking any rules or anything like that. So I just, incredible. And they fill up your timeline. All right, so I'm just now trying to find people. Thank you very much, Claire. I appreciate that. Let me just go. Right, I'm just having a look at the time, guys. And please ignore all of these spammers and what have you, because they are really, really frustrating. Guys, yeah, I appreciate that. Ignore them all. I have reported, blocked, banned, and Facebook refused to do anything about it. So, grief. Yes, I agree 100% there, Shelley. It is difficult. Guys, if you want to look back on this thing after I've finished, I remove all of these when I've finished. It takes me about an hour to get rid of all of this rubbish where people are putting on there. And I'll say the same message. I don't know whether it actually hits people or whether they understand or not. If you're as good as what you're pretending to be when you're using your dishonest practices, go and get your own page, put effort into sorting out your own lives, rather than jumping onto here where there's a decent set of people that are looking at helping people grow. They're looking at working with decent energies. You're just parasites, right? And this is without getting emotionally attached to all of this. You're just parasites. Go on to somebody else's lives and bug other people, right? You see, there's just loads of them dropping in here. I think, guys, maybe I'm going to draw this to an end, because the thing is, I don't like to get like too wrapped up in it. yeah, I don't like to get like wrapped up in it, but they do become really, really draining energetically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it there, but I am going to say to you, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. As I say, it was an impromptu live. There's been about 20 people on the most. I am looking further on down the line at going on to YouTube and then probably splitting, doing these demonstrations and these readings online once I figure out the tech side of YouTube. So once I get my page up, if any of you guys would like to come across and subscribe to my channel on there, there's a couple of videos on there. There's last week's live and an advert for my book on there, but I haven't actually done any YouTubing live, but I'm looking at like building my business and my profile up there. So for the genuine ones on there that have supported me and wished me happy birthday and good luck, thank you very much. For those that need the healing, I send out all of my love and healing towards you guys. Not going to make any promises as to the next time I'm going to be on, but from my spirit to your spirit, thank you very much for coming on and making my birthday eve a lovely one. Thanks very much, guys. Appreciate that.